Hello, future economic master. Do you want to unlock the secrets of why everything feels more expensive these days? I'm talking about the kind of knowledge that will make you feel smarter, more confident, and ready to understand the big picture of our economy. Get ready to have your mind blown as we make complex ideas simple and super fun. You're about to gain insights that most people don't have, and it's going to be incredibly satisfying. Introduction. Today we're diving deep into a super important topic in macroeconomics. The Consumer Price Index, or CPI. This isn't just some boring economic term. It's a number that affects your everyday life, from the price of your morning coffee to the cost of your rent. Understanding CPI helps us understand inflation, how our money's value changes, and even how governments and central banks make big decisions that impact us all. So let's start our journey to understand this key economic indicator. Body. First, what is the Consumer Price Index? The CPI measures the average change over time in the prices paid by urban consumers for a market basket of consumer goods and services. Think of it like this. Imagine a shopping cart filled with all the things an average household buys regularly: food, clothes, housing, transportation, medical care, education, and recreation. The CPI tracks how the total price of that shopping cart changes over time. It's like taking a snapshot of prices today and comparing it to a snapshot of prices last month or last year. Historically, tracking prices isn't new. People always wanted to know how their purchasing power changed, but a systematic way to measure it became crucial. As economies grew and became more complex, especially during the Industrial Revolution, as societies moved from simple bartering to complex market systems, a standardized measure was needed to understand the health of the economy. In the United States, the CPI began during World War I. There was a need to measure changes in the cost of living for shipyard workers in different cities for wage adjustments. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics (BLS) started collecting data, laying the foundation for the modern CPI. After World War I, the BLS refined its methods. The Great Depression in the 1930s highlighted the importance of accurate economic data for understanding downturns and recovery. During World War II, price controls and rationing made the CPI even more critical for economic management. Over the decades, the CPI has evolved. The market basket of goods and services is regularly updated to reflect changes in consumer spending habits. For example, now cell phone services and data plans are included, ensuring the CPI accurately reflects what consumers are actually buying. The BLS uses advanced statistical methods and collects price data from thousands of retail stores, service establishments, and rental units across urban areas for a comprehensive picture. How is the CPI calculated? It's like weighted averaging. Each item in the market basket gets a weight based on how much consumers typically spend on it. Housing costs, for instance, have a higher weight than a movie ticket. The BLS measures price changes of all items and combines them, using their weights to produce a single CPI number. A base period is chosen index typically set to 100, and other periods are compared to it, showing the percentage change in prices. What does it mean when the CPI goes up or down? When the CPI rises, it indicates inflation. Inflation means your money buys less. If the CPI goes up by 3% in a year, the same goods and services cost 3% more, meaning your purchasing power decreased. When the CPI falls, it indicates deflation, meaning prices are generally falling. While falling prices might sound good, widespread deflation can signal a struggling economy, leading to reduced consumer spending and business investment. What are the main uses of the CPI? The CPI is used for many things. First, it's a key indicator of inflation. Governments and central banks, like the Federal Reserve, watch the CPI to make decisions about monetary policy, such as setting interest rates. If inflation is too high, they might raise interest rates. If too low, they might lower rates to stimulate the economy. Second, the CPI adjusts wages, salaries, and social security benefits. Many labor contracts include cost of living adjustments, COLAs, tied to the CPI, ensuring purchasing power isn't eroded by inflation. Third, the CPI is used to adjust other economic statistics. For example, to compare economic growth over time, we adjust for inflation to get a real picture of growth, not just growth due to higher prices. This allows for more accurate comparisons and understanding true economic performance. There are different types of CPIs. The BLS publishes CPI for all urban consumers, CPI-U covering about 93% of the U.S. population. They also publish CPI for urban wage earners and clerical workers. CPI-W, often used for Social Security adjustments. Challenges and limitations of the CPI are worth noting. One is substitution bias. When a goods price rises, consumers often buy a cheaper alternative. The CPI might overstate inflation if it doesn't fully account for these substitutions. The BLS addresses this with complex formulas and frequent basket updates. Another limitation is quality bias. Goods often improve in quality over time. A new smartphone today is much more powerful than one from 5 years ago. The CPI tries to account for these improvements, but it's difficult. If not accounted for properly, the CPI might overstate inflation by comparing a higher quality product today to a lower quality product in the past as if they were the same. Finally, the CPI doesn't always reflect every individual's personal experience. Different households have different spending patterns. The CPI is an average, so it might not perfectly match your personal cost of living. Conclusion. So there you have it. The Consumer Price Index is a powerful tool for understanding the economy. It helps track inflation, adjust incomes, and make informed decisions about our economic future. From its beginnings in tracking shipyard worker costs to its current role as a global economic indicator, the CPI has shaped our understanding of economic health. By understanding the CPI, you're not just learning about economics. You're gaining valuable insight into the forces that shape your financial well-being and the world around you. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep asking questions. Because every piece of knowledge you gain empowers you. You are now one step closer to mastering the language of economics, important English vocabulary, and their Korean explanations. Consumer Price Index CPI, 소비자물가지수 도시. 소비자가 구매하는 상품 및 서비스의 평균 가격 변동을 측정하는 지표. 마크로에코노믹스, 거시경제학, 국가 경제 전반의 성과, 구조, 행동을 연구하는 경제학 분야. 인플레이션, 화폐 가치 하락과 함께 물가가 전반적이고 지속적으로 오르는 현상. Purchasing power, 구매력, 일정 금액의 돈으로 살 수 있는 상품 및 서비스의 양. Central Banks, 중앙은행 한 국가의 통화 정책을 관리하고 상업은행을 감독하는 기관. Monetary Policy, 통화 정책, 중앙은행이 경제의 통화 공급을 조절하여 물가 안정, 고용 증대 등을 달성하려는 정책. 마켓 바스켓, 시장 바구니, 소비자가 일상적으로 구매하는 대표적인 상품 및 서비스 품목의 집합. Urban Consumers, 도시 소비자, 도시에 거주하는 소비자를 지칭하며 CPI 측정의 주요 대상. Goods and Services, 상품 및 서비스, 물질적인 제품과 무형의 용역을 통칭. Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, 노동통계국, 미국 노동부 산하 기관으로 경제 데이터를 수집, 분석, 발표함. Cost of Living, 생활비, 개인이 기본적인 생활을 유지하는 데 필요한 총 비용. Wage Adjustments, 임금 조정, 물가 상승 등에 따라 임금을 변경하는 것. Industrial Revolution, 산업혁명, 18세기 후반 영국에서 시작된 기술 혁신과 생산 방식의 변화. Bartering, 물물 교환, 돈 없이 상품이나 서비스를 직접 교환하는 행위. Great Depression, 대공황, 1930년대 전 세계적으로 발생한 심각한 경제 불황. Economic Downturns, 경기 침체, 경제 활동이 전반적으로 감소하는 시기. Recovery Efforts, 회복 노력, 경제 침체 후 경제를 다시 정상화하기 위한 활동. Price Controls, 가격 통제, 정부가 특정 상품이나 서비스의 가격을 제한하는 조치. Rationing, 배급제, 희소한 자원을 공정하게 분배하기 위해 제한하는 제도. Consumer Spending Habits, 소비자 지출 습관, 소비자들이 돈을 쓰는 방식과 품목. Landline Phones, 유선 전화, 유선 케이블을 통해 연결되는 전통적인 전화. Cell Phone Services, 휴대폰 서비스, 휴대폰을 통해 제공되는 통신 서비스. Data Plans, 데이터 요금제, 휴대폰에서 인터넷 데이터를 사용하는 요금제. Statistical Methods, 통계적 방법, 데이터를 수집, 분석, 해석하는 데 사용되는 수학적 기법. Reliability, 신뢰성 측정, 결과가 얼마나 일관되고 믿을 수 있는지. Retail Stress, 소매점, 소비자에게 직접 상품을 판매하는 상점. Service Establishments, 서비스 시설, 서비스를 제공하는 사업체. 예, 식당, 미용실. Rental Unit, 임대주택 빌려주는 주거 공간. weighted averaging, 가중 평균 각 데이터 값의 중요도 가중치를 곱하여 계산하는 평균. housing costs, 주거비용 집세, 주택유지 보수비용 등 주거와 관련된 비용. 무비 티켓, 영화표, 영화를 보기 위한 입장권. base period, 기준기간, 다른 기간의 변화를 비교하기 위해 설정하는 특정 기간. percentage change, 백분율 변화. 원래 값 대비 얼마나 변했는지 나타내는 비율. deflation, 물가가 전반적이고 지속적으로 하락하는 현상. struggling economy, 침체도엔 경제 활동이 부진하거나 어려움을 겪는 상태. consumer spending, 소비자 지출, 가계가 상품 및 서비스를 구매하는 데 쓰는 돈. business investment, 기업 투자, 기업이 생산 설비나 자산에 투자하는 활동. economic indicator, 경제 지표, 경제 상태를 측정하고 예측하는 데 사용되는 통계 데이터. Federal Reserve, 연방준비제도, 미국의 중앙은행 시스템. interest rates, 금리, 돈을 빌리거나 빌려줄 때 지급하는 이자 비율. monetary policy, 통화정책, 중앙은행이 통화량과 금리를 조절하여 경제를 안정시키는 정책. cost of living adjustments, KOLA, 생활비 조정, 물가 상승에 맞춰 임금이나 연금을 인상하는 것. social security benefits, 사회보장 혜택. 정부가 노인, 장애인 등에게 지급하는 연금 및 지원금. purchasing power, 구매력, 돈으로 살 수 있는 상품과 서비스의 양. deflate, other economic statistics, 다른 경제 통계 조정. inflation, 효과를 제거하여 실질적인 변화를 측정. real picture of growth, 실질 성장, inflation을 감안한 진정한 경제 성장. substitution bias, 대체 편향, 가격이 오른 상품 대신 다른 상품을 구매하는 소비자의 행동이 CPI에 정확히 반영되지 않아 발생하는 오차. quality bias, 품질 편향, 시간이 지나면서 상품의 품질이 향상되는 것을 CPI가 제대로 반영하지 못해 발생하는 오차. spending patterns, 지출 패턴, 사람들이 돈을 어디에 어떻게 사용하는지에 대한 경향. financial well-being, 재정적 안녕, 개인의 경제적 안정과 만족스러운 상태.